as we were preparing the webinar, Jerry, Mo, and the teams at Pharm-Olam and ACM, one of the themes that came out is, are these markets still emerging, or are they really emerged? If you think about it, the use of Latin American, Eastern Europe, Middle Eastern, and Asia Pacific countries is now fairly routine in global studies, and the benefits are pretty well known. Access to patients, speed of enrollment, those types of benefits, which again the gentleman will cover a little bit here. Although these may be emerged markets, just because something is done routinely does not make it simple or easy. There are some things, again, that Mo and Jerry will share their experience with that are still required for success in these areas. One is knowledge and experience. There's really no substitute for that. Secondly, having clear and realistic expectations and outcomes, plus contingency planning and flexibility is also very important as far as when you create expectations and what you're looking for from use of emerging countries in clinical development. Preparation and planning almost goes without saying, but it should not go without saying. The more you prepare and the more you plan, again, including building in flexibility and contingency plans when things don't go right, and they will not go right all the time, that's very critical as well. And obviously, once you have things underway, the ongoing attention and monitoring needs to be very sharp, very well focused. So there are basically a lot of different elements to produce the optimal outcomes in doing clinical development work in emerging or emerged markets. And I think our two panelists today are excellent examples. They have really about 3 or 4 decades worth of experience between them in working in these areas successfully. So with that, I will turn the webinar over to them. Gentlemen?
Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you wherever you are. It's a pleasure to have this opportunity to talk to you today. So as Mark mentioned, these days it is difficult to define emerging regions with regards to clinical research. In fact, I think it would be better to speak in context of countries rather than regions. So let's take Eastern Europe as an example. One could argue that Russia is a fully emerged country, at least with respect to clinical research, in the major cities, with 800 clinical trials approved in 2013. In the same Eastern European region, however, Kazakhstan, which has a population of around 80 million people, currently has less than 15 ongoing trials. It is a similar story in the other so-called emerging regions. Take Latin America, for example. Argentina and Brazil tend to dominate, while countries such as Bolivia and Paraguay lag behind. With the exception of South Africa and possibly Egypt, the African continent can really be considered as one of those truly emerging regions. Southeast Asia also has had quite a length and depth of clinical trial experience, but with the countries such as Burma and Cambodia, I would still consider them as the emerging countries. On the next slide, we'd like to hear from you. We have a poll question.
We certainly do, and thank you for that little introduction. We do have a poll question here for the audience, and you can vote by clicking on your screen, and you can actually select more than one answer here if you'd like. The question we have for you: where are your key areas of interest in conducting clinical trials? Your options are China, Eastern Europe, Latin America, more options, Middle East, and Southeast Asia. Again, that question, you can vote on that in real time by clicking on your screen. More than one answer if you'd like. Where are your key areas of interest in conducting clinical trials? Looks like most of you have voted at this point, so I'm going to close polling now and share the results with you. There we have it. The most popular answer was Eastern Europe. That was followed by Latin America, then China, then Southeast Asia. Sorry, I'm messing all that up. First most popular answer, Eastern Europe. Second most popular, Latin America. Third most popular was China. That was followed by Southeast Asia, then the Middle East. And with that, I'll hand the mic back to you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Next slide, please. The reasons why we have seen a huge increase in clinical trials in these emerging regions are well documented, and I'm not going to go into details, except to add that recently we have been asked to conduct clinical research in these emerging regions for a couple of new reasons, which I think are important to reiterate here. Firstly, we have seen an increase in clinical trials in rare indications. For these indications, you may need to place your trial in a specific country, and sometimes our feasibility results support the inclusion of a so-called emerging country in these rare condition clinical trials. As an example, we are currently running a sickle cell anemia study, which includes countries such as Lebanon, Jordan, Egypt, and Oman. These countries have a higher incidence of sickle cell anemia patients, therefore seem right countries to conduct this trial in. The second reason is to accommodate future markets. Russia is one of those countries that it is compulsory to have Russian patients as part of your clinical development program to obtain access to the Russian market. So you have to run a phase 2 or a phase 3 trial with Russian patients to obtain future license for that drug in that country. But we have also sometimes been asked to conduct clinical trials in countries such as Turkey to increase future market awareness.